didn't die.
That is
Uh,
true.
we found a symbol of a what was it? Like a black rose or something on a necklace that one of the half ogres we killed was wearing. I can't remember the symbol exactly. I said black rose, but if it was different, please correct me.
The guys who ambushed you, yes, had a black rose.
So, upon inspection of the trap, it turns out that they had apparently spent a fair amount of coin setting it up to capture specifically us, which we can only assume would be to fall under the thrall of the Shadow Empress. So, knowing that we haven't been captured, we tried to gather more information. Baden used disguise self to look like one of the townspeople that had ambushed us but escaped. And we tried to gather more information on this Black Rose item. We are unsure if the only thing we found out is that the half ogres are oftentimes employee of the goblins in the bad part of town. So against our better judgment, we headed there. We met a we went to a couple of shops. One of them was run by kobolds, which gave us some or sold us more of the trinkets, but had very little information. Although one of them confronted us saying that they could find more. But then we decided to go into a goblin alchemist shop and we left there.
Very good summary.
Yes, very. So, you find yourselves entering a goblin alchemist shop.
I pay attention sometimes. Just sometimes. Don't get used to it.
You see this elderly-looking goblin behind the counter.
Goblins get old. Oh, sorry. Carry on.
They don't die young.
That's rare. Perhaps
I think I made the same joke about the kobold last week too, about one being old. I will quit interrupting now. Carry on.
So, as you enter, guys, stairs down.
What was that?
The goblin stares at you as you enter the shop. He just stares at you and doesn't say anything.
Hello? Might we ask you a couple questions?
In a strange language, replies,
I,
None of it.
I don't suppose any of you speak Goblinese, do you?
Thought they spoke
I am
Underdark.
group.
Shame that we don't have Cookie.
what languages do people know?
Not Underdark or Undercommon.
I should actually load up
Could
my character
just
sheet, huh?
post in chat what everyone has languages. That'll let you know if someone can actually understand.
We keep losing people. What's happening to everyone?
Well, I dropped out because my audio cut out on me.
Well, Cookie just dropped out too.
So far, I have groups and I have warrants. The answer is nope.
That's Cleon, by the way.
Yeah,
Doran's still on the ship.
yep, I got that mixed up. Thank you.
I'm pretty sure Doran is Elvish and Dwarvish.
Jonathan obviously doesn't know what they said. It's not a loud enough boom to understand what they said.
Boom, boom.
You understand
I speak
gunpowder.
alchemist.
I speak booms and bigger booms.
It's like speaking
Big
math.
bada boom.
Yeah, it'd be funny if I
He
just like
speaks
tried to
chemistry.
communicate with him with all the alchemist components.
Hey, you know how to speak golden gems.
Yeah, speak golden gems and alchemy.
Jonathan's languages, literally, and alchemy.
Sure.
Rock and stone.
We have Cerdans.
Yeah, I'm here.
Do we have your languages, please?
Everyone just talked at once. What was that?
Which languages does Cerdon know?
Oh, common and giant.
Okay.
Does that mean you speak in big letters?
Yeah, he helps those who are vision impaired.
So is the big E actually a word then? In giant that I should know. Anyway, it's safe to say that that
Yeah, we can't
we don't
communicate with him.
understand any of this.
Yeah, unless
Infernal, Fae, a couple
Gonna say
others.
unless
What are your couple
Hestra-
others, Baden?
I believe Hestra's, yeah, Hestra or Maiden, no. That's kind of where we're at.
Well, in the event that we don't want to wait on either of them to show up in time, we can assume that none of us understand what this goblin has said to us.
Baden should be in the shop with us. He's just now showing up. He's not on mic yet, though. Almost here. Infernal, Cyclone. Is that Sylvan or Sylvan? Yeah. Don't think the goblin's speaking Sylvan.
I seriously doubt Hestra speaks Undercommon or Goblin, but I mean,
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I mean, Ryan did post a sheet last week, right?
Hey, it could be deep speech. You never know.
Yep. Open original.
Circle of what?
Can't read.
Does he have any languages on here?
I don't see
This
that.
all beast. I do not see languages.
So yeah, no one understands. She stands there, says something else in the same sounding language. Like,
Do you have anyone here that speaks common?
stares at you.
Alright, I'm gonna walk out the door now.
What's going on? What are you doing?
Can I do
th- thank you and sorry for disturbing you. And we walk out.
Based on what you said, I don't feel the need to roll an insight check. I don't think he's trying to deceive us.
Group tries to ask you, what was that? What little men say?
We don't know.
Nobody knows.
I felt like we wouldn't have gained anything by showing it one of the necklaces. It might have ended poorly if we couldn't understand what they were saying. If it did mean something to them.
Yeah. That's fair.
So, where to
Yeah,
now?
shop.
I mean, unless Squeaks can read its mind. I don't think you can do that, though.
That's interesting.
I don't speak with words, but I speak with logic. And it's not reading people's minds. They can choose to respond.
Yes, but you know,
So did
I'm
you
not
choose to
I'm
make
not
us
that
into the
magically
tools?
inclined, so I don't know what all wizards and warlocks and priests and such can do. Out of character, maybe one of these days I'll actually multi-class into priest. Not priest, cleric. But anyway. So, unless there's anything else more promising here.
Where should we go now?
Is that the kobold speaking?
No, that would be Squeaks on her shoulder.
Ah.
Kobold squeaks. Same difference.
Ah!
Quite a bit different.
Well,
We announced in the middle of town we're looking for the queen.
That
Seems
sounds
a bit
brilliant.
reckless.
Are you sure a queen rules the town?
That's what we're looking for, right?
Is it? What is the actual mission?
Shadow Empress.
The Shadow Empress.
Empress? Queen?
Yeah.
Different?
So,
Yes.
Well,
so
Shrub.
Oh, okay.
for
I
the
would say
most
Shadow Interest rules the town, but she's not the face of the town.
for the most part, there's
Pulls
not
the
much difference
strings.
between an empress and a queen thematically, but names are powerful.
Hmm.
Well, I would say that
I am
she's in
Groot.
charge, but she's not the official face that's in charge. She's the one that pulls the strings.
It's
The
not
shadow.
necessarily a bad idea to maybe ask about where the meeting place is here.
Yeah.
Since that seemed to be a little bit more of a code word. Since it might not hurt to
Little man doing our research, right? Little person kobold.
Depends on how much shinies you have about tonight.
We keep shinies. Maybe we throttle him for information.
And then you get none.
Yeah.
This hard.
I'm not sure this is the part of town we want to be starting fights in anyway.
Oh yes. Yes it is.
Well, you always want to fight though. Which is fair. We can spar later or something. But we need to otherwise see if there's any more promising.
Fire for you to fight.
Hmm?
I can
Fire?
create a fire for you to fight.
Yes,
No.
I will happily take a flame tongue to fight group. I'm sure he'd appreciate that. I mean,
Group gone.
um. So, assuming the goblin couldn't speak with us, or otherwise was unwilling to speak with us in common, and no one really wanted to try any other languages, we could either pony up some cash and hope the kobold's trustworthy. We could continue asking more random people. We could go back into the goblin shop and show them the specifically one of the necklaces and see if we can elicit a reaction. Although I don't know how much good that would do if we can't actually understand the words.
I mean, we could all just ask in our languages we speak that aren't common if he understands any of them,
We could
because he clearly doesn't have common, and we don't know Goblin.
put a
So-
necklace back on somebody and see if they're more compelled to go someplace and follow them. Although I don't know if I really want to risk one of our comrades for that.
That could be exciting.
Just put on Squeaks. Who's the weakest? I mean,
And the hardest to hit.
yeah.
And the hard to swallow.
Oh my gosh.
Squeaks also has the advantage of being able to put out damage that auto hits.
I know. I was joking. Pulling the DM's leg because he's giving us a Goblin doesn't know common.
Or at least refuses to use it.
Well, you could know other languages and you would have been able to speak with them.
Right, but how do we know all the different dialects? This is like the one case where they actually use a generic language.
You know.
We could potentially hire an interpreter.
And then we got a trusting interpreter as well.
I believe we've established, Rio, that none of us know Undercommon.
I want to go try Infernal in there and see what happens.
I actually do know Undercommon. It's not Undercommon.
I think we should go try all the exotic languages we picked up and see what happens.
Okay. For lack of a better plan, sure.
So you're gonna go back in to the goblin.
And each in our own native tongue. I don't speak Goblin. Do you speak Dwarvish? And next, like, we'll just
I want to start though.
go for it.
What about the Greeks talks?
All right. If we're going back in,
Oh, okay. This is what we need to do. Out of character. We need to go fight 8,000 or 8,754 boars in the forest for Cleoc to hit level like 14 for him to get the tongue of the sun and moon. And
That
then
would be
I can talk
nice.
to the goblin.
So later in the campaign, sure. So worms, those live in the desert.
Oh wait,
right?
level 13, so only 7 million boars. My bad.
Million.
Yes.
This is a tall order here.
I'm referencing a very certain South Park episode.
Mhm.
You can do purple worms if you'd like. Or reskin.
No.
That sounds like I did 100 of those, so it's a good start.
They do. Everyone ready?
Sure, let's go.
Uh-huh.
Someone turned on a personal force field. Roll initiative.
All right.
9.
Oh, it goes first. You're all swallowed whole. So, what is the plan, though, actually?
Back into the goblins and roulette of languages.
That makes no sense. Squeaks can talk to the goblin with magic.
But can the goblin talk back?
Yes.
Okay.
But does
It
the
can
goblin hear
choose
squeaks
to.
in his native language or in?
It's
Should
magic.
be. So it should work regardless.
But how many
Yes.
I don't
spells does
know.
it get?
Only Squeaks would know how his magic works.
Hey Squeaks, can you go talk to the goblin? What
Yes,
about
Since you ask, this is what Squeak says. Hold on just a moment. You guys can keep talking for a moment. I gotta pull up the script.
I'm going to mute myself because I just got the hiccups. I would say that the goblin may not have been speaking Undercommon, but Squeaks may be able to communicate in Undercommon.
Well,
There you go. That is what Squeaks relays to you.
I read that this spell doesn't actually translate the message. It's just, you whisper in the mind of the language you use.
That's a really interesting question I had not considered.
I mean yeah.
so since you're whispering the message, Squeaks really can speak common. He just can't speak it loudly. That's what I heard.
Well, we've been using it as a way of translation between group and us.
Yes.
For purposes of our group, he has been translating.
Huh. That is
Well,
interesting.
if
But
he
that's-
knows group's language, then that
that's
is
true.
possible.
Okay,
But
here's
we didn't
the
know
thing.
that. Yeah, that's
Either it magically translates to a language you can't speak, or it doesn't. Because Squeaks cannot speak common. He doesn't have the vocal cords. He understands it. So,
It's safe to say that Squeaks knows common. Group also knows common, and so that's why message works.
They
He
just
just
cannot.
doesn't. He just can't speak it. Is
I'll
that
buy
correct?
that argument.
yes. Yeah.
Anyway, I need to step away from my computer for a moment. I'll be right back. But my plan is for Squeaks or somebody Squeaks is somehow translating from so it wouldn't be weird for a message to go through to try Undercommon. Although that would be a nice performance check to speak Undercommon when you don't know the language, you're just getting it from specifically from Squeaks as to what to ask.
Well, we could also just
I'll be
wave
right back.
money around and see if they actually speak common.
Yeah,
You
if
could
it
try
was
that, yep.
if it was sending, it would work because it says creatures can understand you.
Sending is the 3rd level spell, though, that we don't want to burn so far.
Correct.
So
So
I like my idea of walking in there and speaking Infernal with my jet black eyes, just to see what happens.
so if Squeaks knows Undercommon, he can message in Undercommon, and perhaps the goblin knows that. But if the goblin doesn't know Undercommon, we're back to where we started. Da 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 da. Oh, that's interesting. So he should be able to understand what I write. They use a dwarvish script. Where is
So
that?
somewhat understand what you write.
You can understand the letters of someone who uses an English script, but that doesn't mean it makes any sense.
That's true.
Just think the Spanish language. We can see the words, we can see the letters,
Okay,
and
okay,
still
okay.
know nothing.
That's fair.
Sorry about that, I'm back.
Old English, Middle English, yeah.
Future English. All the Englishes. I just have to somehow teach my government computer that materiel is not a misspelling. Air Force is obsessed with using materiel instead of material. And it's so weird to hear computer voices saying it that way too.
Huh.
Are we
Yep.
reading to the kid?
Probably.
Yeah. This is the usual time for that. That's why I was typing our conclusions out so he can catch up.
Cool.
So our conclusion is that it doesn't translate, and that if Squeaks knows it, he can message in it. Otherwise, not. And so I was just metagaming on the side here, looking for languages that gnome or goblins would know. And as annoying as it is to us, Goblin would probably know Undercommon and not Common. But that's annoying to us. You'd think a Goblin that was operating in the this area would, be able to communicate with those in the area. But
I don't know. There are plenty of ethnic natives around here that can't speak English.
it's, yeah, it's
If your
fair.
subculture is deep enough, you don't need it.
Yeah. Do you accept this contract?
I think that's an accurate. We'll know if he actually understands the language. Also, he might get kicked out of the shop after that if he does understand it.
I mean, worst case, we could, I guess, show off the. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, hold up the necklace with
One
the
of the
with the paper. Do you accept this contract? Oh my gosh. Goodness.
Hey, does anybody have, locate object or anything like that?
Who would have thought to have that?
Because if we could locate another thing like one of these, we could find another weed.
Yes, we'll be right back in the kobold shop, potentially.
Yeah, we could probably have a bunch of those reactions. We could also go searching for them.
But sure.
That is very true if anyone has locate object.
We could locate creature half ogre.
On the bright side, I do have a zone of truth, so of all those spells to have.
Great, now the goblin will speak truth to you in his language.
Well,
Right.
if we hire the kobold, that is.
Indeed, you could try to hire the kobolds.
We still could, I
Is
think.
that on your printer?
No.
Okay.
That's an Ender, not a CR10.
I thought we already had.
Okay, it looked a little small.
Was it just that no one gave him concrete payment, and so we didn't hire them?
They asked what you'd be willing to pay, and no one really said.
I also seem to remember the end of that conversation was that they were actually doing something for us.
Yeah, Finder said he would go find it, and he'd find us. So, that's what we ended on last time.
So what did I miss? What is the plan?
I believe
Bane's
the
gonna-
current plan is to have Squeaks message him in Undercommon and see if we can get a response. Otherwise, we show if he still doesn't understand it for whatever reason, then we will pull out one of the necklaces and then go forward based on his reaction to said necklace.
Is that the final choice? Then it can be executed. You hear Squeak's normal squeak. And then he's like, he didn't respond, but he's certainly looking at us a little strange. Wondering why we came back into the shop, I guess, since we don't understand it.
Bane advances, holding a pen and quill, or a quill and paper, and necklace, and an infernal says, "Will you accept the contract to help us?" Holding out the necklace and the everything.
Looks at what you have. Please.
Did he react at all to what I said with my jet black eyes and infernal?
Roll a insight.
Okay. Oh, that's a good one. That's a 15.
You notice he didn't seem to reply or respond to what you said or did, but he did seem to recognize the amulet of some sort.
Okay. Cool. Well, he doesn't know infernal, guys.
Why do you know Infernal?
I hunt demons, okay?
Eh, fair enough.
Plus, I had a
Jonathan,
lot of downtime in the library.
Jonathan whispers, he also said not all demons are bad.
Which is probably a true statement, actually. There's probably one demon who is not bad. Somewhere in the multiverse.
Doesn't mean he's
Yeah,
not evil.
just neutral. True.
Doesn't mean they're not evil.
He's just
Oh,
really good
gosh.
at being evil. He's not bad at being
You're a bad guy, but you're not a bad guy.
There we go.
Anyway, so did you get
Yep.
anything, Baden?
Nothing.
Did-
He didn't know the necklace. I'll pull out a gold piece and ask in common, "Are you sure you can't speak common?" And tell us what you know.
He holds his hand out for the money, but doesn't seem to say anything.
Okay.
Also, that's what you're exchanging for, but is willing to accept your gold.
Well, okay, in that case, I'll cast Detect Magic. Is there anything special in this alchemist shop?
Well, a few of the potions are magical, but go ahead.
Any potions look like healing potions?
Yes.
Basically, are there any potions that we might know what they do? And do we want to buy them?
What do you know about
Healing potions we would know. Hopefully.
We have used
Let's
them.
go. We're not getting anything here.
Oh,
He knows about.
He knows about the necklace.
You know,
A lot of
we
people
just
seem to know about the necklace.
You never know.
Well, Detect Magic tells me the type of magic, so using that, I'm not going to take a damage potion that looks like a healing potion.
Identify might tell you detect magic is probably not
Nope, it does.
exactly.
It tells you the school of magic.
Not all potions are of the school of magic. If you look at the potion descriptions, they don't say magic school. They just say what
True.
they do.
Do I detect any schools of magic or anything that would be useful?
For example, the potion says potion rarity, which says which rarity the potion is, and says you regain hit points. But it doesn't say anything about a school of magic. So you detect magic, but you detect alchemical, not
Okay. I'll mention to the group there are magic potions in here. If we want to run by here later and try and pick something up.
Healing would be evocation,
Yes.
so I wouldn't tell you if it's good or bad.
Really?
Just that it's spoken spell. Whatever.
Well, let's go.
Okay.
We're not going to get anything else here.
Interesting. So yeah, the potions and stuff don't say anything. You literally have to look at the effect that it does and try to get a spell that's like it to try to determine it, or you have to use a spell that it mentions as a reference to try to find
Yeah.
what school it would be. But they don't actually say a school of magic for any magic.
It's nice and complicated.
Yep. Alright, well, we can go then.
So just trying to make things harder for DMs to be able to do anything or adjudicate.
Yes. Alright, well. I wouldn't mind picking up some potions at some point, but we gotta be able to understand them first.
I also would like to purchase potions at a more reputable shop.
Okay. Alright, let's go.
Let's find a goblin that speaks common. That's better.
Indeed. That sounds like a great choice.
It does actually sound like a great choice.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, everyone's walking down the street. A kobold walks up to you and taps
And taps what?
you.
Yes, I answer in Dwarvish.
He looks at you and not sure what to say.
Can I help you in common?
Yeah, I have some info that I'd be willing to sell you. What do you say for some good info worth to you?
I hold up a blue crystal. This makes things go boom.
Okay, I'll trade that. He puts his hand.
I hand him a small crystal.
How big is the small crystal?
You know, like an inch long, quarter-inch wide. It's probably 4 or 5 shots for me.
Okay.
I heard that Tifa is hunting you.
The Dark Empress, Tifa. Does she have any titles, or just Tifa her name?
Was that the guy that like talked to us, or that we entered his house or whatever? Or was that someone else?
He's
Anyway,
all right. Thank you for this information. Will you continue searching for us?
Oh yeah. You seem to have money, so of course we like getting money and things.
Sounds good.
Cameras off.
Do you believe them? I don't think there's any reason not to believe that, but
Yeah, they want things. They continue to want things.
true.
It's reasonable.
Yeah, and I don't remember who Tifa is.
I believe it's a name you haven't heard before.
That is
Okay.
correct.
That would be why I don't remember it.
I can't remember this name I've not heard.
If only we asked who Tifa is.
Always rolling. I did.
Okay.
Always rolling history check.
Well, you did ask. Is
If there's
Tifa,
a,
and you said someone.
the Dark Empress, or the
Yes,
yeah,
and he just looked at you like you're crazy. like,
confused.
But you didn't actually just straight up ask.
before he runs off, can we say this like, Do you know where we can find this Tifus?
Oh no, nobody knows. Only when you want to be found.
Cool.
Okay.
I just keep watching that GIF over and over again.
He does drop a little pamphlet too for you, or he hands it to you, and it has a name that is not Yanavan on it, but a very similar image of the one you call Yanavan. In a unknown language. But with a fairly large digit of some sort.
Can we ask what that language is?
Who are you asking?
Do I
mean,
recognize the language?
You've seen the script before, but you don't know it.
Okay. There's a handful of languages that are written in the Dwarvish script.
Yep. It's wonderful, isn't it?
Yep.
It actually seems to be some sort of variant on the actual common script, not the Dwarven
Not the
script.
Dwarvish script. Good to know.
Someone dropped it out.
I hand it around the group. See if anyone recognizes it.
You can make it out kind of like a severely broken English Donovan, but no one else seems to really be able to piece anything.
Interesting.
So why specifically Yonovan?
And not Squeaks. Squeaks knows Undercommon, but it's more of a common derivative. But... Huh. Huh.
It has Yonovan's face on it.
So it's from my planet. Dialect of Common from my planet. Or at least from one of the groups I used to be in. Okay.
Dun, dun, dun.
Do I at least understand the number written on it?
It's a very large number, and it's mentioning some sort of other currency.
Interesting. So how did they get
Alien space
that
bodies.
information here?
So guys,
Yes.
I think this is a bounty on me.
You think?
A bounty on you?
I mean, I hold it up next to me, point at the picture, point at me, point at big number.
Has the same facial scratches. Looks like a very well depiction of Yanavan. It's missing a few scratches that he's but
Since-
it very strikingly looks like him.
Interesting. Would that have
You
come from...
reshaped face. Look like me. No one see you.
I'm not sure it works that way.
Huh? Hmm.
Actually, I don't understand group. To expedite things, I'm assuming Squeaks is translating, but
Yeah, it just
or somebody.
Takes a little bit of time for that to happen. So there's delays in between, but there's no use for us wasting our time with those delays.
So it's interesting that there's a bounty on your head, but not all of us. because they
Well,
tried to capture all of us.
This looks like before you met Yonder. Because the picture doesn't have some marks that he had when you first met him.
Hmm. So is it possible we were attacked because they were after just you and not all of us? Surely
I mean,
that's not the case.
it's always a possibility. But there was a statue for each of us.
True. But still, if this kobold is after this bounty,
Cobalt after the bounty. The Cobalt reported that someone after the bounty.
And hopefully the crystal I gave him doesn't kill him.
I think he's smarter
Come
than
back a
that.
year later to block missing from this district.
I mean, that crystal's only worth like 5 shots. It's not a massive amount of explosives. But it might
For that
have a
purpose.
but a cobalt might come back with a couple less fingers.
Indeed.
you did say it went boom.
I did. It was a warning.
But will that be enough?
I thought of that like
Back
5
in
minutes
that,
after you left.
where you'll find they're now exporting these explosives.
Oh no.
We
So
grow
it's
those.
legitimate.
Oh gosh. What have I
Alright.
done?
I honestly am not sure what to go after next.
Well, I think job boards are not the answer for us anymore. If we actually want to hunt the flesh dealers, perhaps we should remember those spiders that we actually took out? That were part of the flesh
I'm
dealers?
referring to our current predicament, not
Not the long-term goals.
the long-term goals. Yes.
Well, it is getting towards the end of the day here, so you might need to find a place to stay unless you're just gonna bum out on the street.
And not in the Goblin District.
I don't want to bum out here. I guess we could go back to one of those inns we passed by, or stopped in earlier.
Sure, it sounds good to me.
Sounds good to me.
Or maybe an inn that we haven't been seen in, but
New insight.
out of character, the player in me actually wants to be found at this. Out of character, I want to be found at this point.
That can be arranged.
Yeah, I don't know what's your passive percent.
Not good enough.
Aiden's got a 17.
14.
What are you carrying on you?
A bag of holding. No, that Cookie's got that.
What's another item about that size that you have? Or some item?
Oh, what else have I made? I mean, I probably have several non-functioning prototypes of it.
That you're just randomly carrying on you?
I mean, they're like keychains, like Tinker's things. Like, or I'm working on the next iteration of his thing since it was only a regular. It was a good rule, but not like it's not like a mastercrafted item. So you got to make the next version of it.
That is a fair point.
So like I have a new frame for it, but no string on it.
A 80% complete project in his pocket.
Yeah.
That totally tracks.
Well, mark off a gold or 2 of materials for that. And it's
All right.
missing.
Sneaky kobolds.
It wasn't necessarily the cobalt.
We
You are
saw
in that part of
nothing.
town, now old.
Ugh. This is why everything stays in the bag holding, darn it. It's underneath my cloak.
At least they didn't go for the bag of holding.
Yeah. I mean, that's also why you keep a few things in your pocket that are easier to get to.
Don't worry, I'm keeping track of it all. So, you know, you might come back and find
Or
depending on, you know, how the route of where they go. It's so much fun.
You say that.
Oh, I mean it. It's great.
Alright, I have no idea what we should do. In
We're
all
going
honesty.
to the inn.
Alright, let's go find an inn. That sounds wonderful to me.
Okay.
What I was gonna say, wasn't there one more place we hadn't looked at last week? I don't know why I was thinking there
Probably.
was. Oh,
I don't remember.
okay, in we go.
You head back to the nicer part of town, closer to where you were dropped off, and you find an inn called the Wandering Sage.
Sounds as good as any.
You see a short female elf who is keeping the, what do you call it?
The bar?
Place where people buy things. Yes, thank you. Wow, brain.
They work sometimes. Sometimes they don't.
So, yeah, it's a two-story building of timber and brick. You're able to go in.
Greetings.
Hey, how can I help you?
Do you have room for 6 for the night?
Let me check. It looks like I have 4 rooms available.
We could probably make do with that, or maybe a little less. Maybe not all 4 rooms, but
Squeaks probably doesn't need a room of his own since he's tiny.
That's true.
I'd imagine the group doesn't sleep in a bed either.
You know, you might have some difficulty. As he's getting eyed as this, you know, tree stomping through her head.
I can stay outside.
Would you, or would you go inside?
I would normally go inside, but I have no problem staying outside and pretending to be a tree.
Well, I mean, not everyone has seen a walking tree.
Isn't a tree an ability that when they are standing still, they're indistinguishable from an actual tree?
Yes, assuming no one has known me. That's correct.
Well, there's no trees that really look like you, so
Not a lot of trees around.
that's the problem.
No,
Anyway.
you're in a desert, so a deciduous tree in a desert is kind of odd.
Okay.
Especially
I-
the walking one.
It's probably in our best interest that you not be outside tonight, considering I'll explain it later.
Okay.
We're expecting a nighttime visit, more or less.
Potentially.
Hmm.
Anyway, without knowing exactly how large the rooms are, I would say that 4 rooms would surely be enough to house all 6 of us, even though we may need less.
Mm-hmm. I think that's a reasonable.
Or we can get all
suggestion.
4 rooms just because.
Well, each room has a small bed in it. And so when you're showed the rooms, you know, Cyrodiil's gonna feel kind of claustrophobic in them. And then however many you want to get for others.
Alright, we can get all 4 rooms. Yes, we will take the 4 rooms for the night.
Very well. And is there anything else you'd like?
How much would this cost us? I want to make sure she doesn't say something outrageous like 100 gold.
Now that you said that,
And what would the lodging cost us for
Bring
tonight?
it up here, give me just a second. It's taking to load, sorry. It would be 1 gold per night, per day.
1 gold per night and 1 gold per day.
No, 1 gold per night.
One gold,
Technically,
1 gold total for all
Okay.
4 rooms
each.
each.
It does come with your choice of 1 meal.
That seems fair.
Right.
So you can mark off a whopping full 4 gold.
Oh man.
What will we ever do without that 4 gold?
Right. So there's a number of other patrons who are in the inn as well. There's dwarf, looks to be some sort of non-artisan. So no, there's not a blacksmith sort of dwarf. It looks to be a little bit more upper scale than that. There's a halfling who seems to have she has some chemical burns of some sort or something on some of her clothing. There's a human who looks to be fairly well off of some sort. There's a halfling who seems to be fairly well off, and a human who seems to be assisting him. Potentially, or his yeah. And then there looks to be like there's also a human, no, an elf there as well, who looks to be a skilled individual of some sort.
Okay then.
So you see these 6 patrons around the room, some together, some separate.
Okie dokie.
Is there any food you would like to acquire? She did say you can have 1 meal if you want. So if you
That's a
want,
good
she
point.
can get that.
Sure, what is the house special?
Currently, someone came through and had some shark that I bought, so I have a baked shark with some blue cheese and a glass of rum.
That
Kind of
sounds
a
good.
little, sea special, especially since we're so far from the sea.
I see.
Very well.
If you rather, I also have shrimp and I have eel that I acquired from the person as well. So I've made a shrimp with cinnamon and curd cheese and a glass of wine, or I have eel with poached eggs and a glass of wine. Those are kind of the 3 special meals that I have going on right now that are not normally available here.
Did you say eagle?
Eel,
Okay.
Oh, I was hopeful.
sea snake.
It's totally gonna eat bird next to the bird. Sure, I'll do eel.
I'll take the house special or the chicken. Not the chicken, the shark.
Okay.
It all tastes like chicken, anyways. So
I'll try the shark, I suppose.
So she goes.
Shark
with
sounds good.
3 of those. Or you 3. Alright, so is there any other plans you want to have this evening, or did you guys want to just plan your sleeping arrangements and head that way?
do y'all want to
Sounds
do
good.
take watches? Lock the
Of
doors,
course.
bar the doors, anything like that?
I'd certainly say lock the doors. If
Yeah.
possible.
Do we have any
I
extra
like the idea
reinforcements
of
for the
taking
doors?
shifts.
Lock the doors, close any windows.
There's a basic lock and there is window, but they have shutters.
So we'll definitely close all that stuff.
You
Basic
don't
lock's
want
not going
to
to keep
have
anyone.
open windows to let the breeze through because you are in more of a desert area. So
Yes.
in the evenings, letting the
It
breeze
gets
through
warm.
is quite nice to allow you to not, burn up.
Suffocate.
Yeah, it's about the only time of the day where it's actually not, burning you.
Mm-hmm. Understandably.
Alright. So what's the
Alright, we
plan?
got 4 rooms for all of us.
Who's sleeping where? Is everybody, group standing around? Is he taking a room? Which rooms are the rest of you in?
Do we want to take watches or anything like that? Or are we
Yeah, I
gonna...
think we should.
Group doesn't really need to sleep, so he'll stay wherever someone wants to be.
Okay. There's technically 7 people is why I'm asking.
I'll take a room.
So there's 4 rooms, 7 people.
So Sheridan probably gets his own room because he's super large.
Squeaks and Hestra are probably with me.
That's very fair.
I could see Squeaks, Hester, and Group being all together. So that leaves Baden, Yonovan, and myself, Kleok.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So the 4 of you go up to your room.
Sure. So that's 2 rooms for 3 of us.
Yeah, there's 2 rooms for 3 of us.
Hmm. I still think we're gonna get ambushed tonight, and I'm
Yeah.
not. I'd rather be in a room with someone else. So if Kleok wants a room to himself, that's perfectly fine with us.
Sure. I will take my own room then.
Yonovan, what's your AC?
Sorry, I couldn't hear.
That's right. What's your AC?
Bollocks. 15.
Okay.
16, excuse me.
I believe that will miss. Let me find it.
I hope so.
Me too, because I have no idea what this even is.
7.
Okay.
That'd be a plus 10 to hit if it does.
Yeah. No, it misses. What's your passive perception?
Jonathan should still be 14.
Yeah.
Aiden's in the same room with 17. Right.
Yep.
So Yanovan's snoring, and you hear a thunk, and you snap awake, baby, as you hear a nice, lovely sound of a bolt striking just shy of Yanovan.
I will, well, any idea where I am in relation to the room?
But you are on the opposite side of the room from him, probably. There's like barely a step space between the two of you. You had to use some sort of bedding. Unless Yanovan,
And
unless you had the bed and Yanovan has the floor, in which case it would be the other way around, where you're on the bed and he's on whatever he has for bedding on the floor.
and the window's open right now for airflow.
I figured it would be, unless you want to close
Okay.
it and get super warm.
I mean, that seems wise.
Basically, if you close it, you get to roll a con save to see if you actually get to sleep through the night.
I will take what is it? A ball bearing in my bag at the side of the bed, or side of my bedding, and throw it at him to try and wake him up.
Okay, now when you feel this lovely pain as a ball bearing has bounced off you. What do? You have one action to do.
I'm gonna roll for deep sleep.
Okay.
It's a 4, I wake up.
So you wake up and you feel the lovely pain of a ball bearing bouncing off you.
These bugs are sure big here. They bothering you too?
Yeah, they're pretty big. They keep flying in the windows.
Why is there this dart next to me?
I don't know. It just appeared there a second ago.
Another one comes in. This one hits. Doing 8 points of damage. And I need you to roll a con save with advantage.
Oh boy. I've been rolling so great tonight.
I have advantage.
Oh, thank goodness. I know, but I've been playing with my dice here while we've been doing nothing, and I've been rolling not a single one above a 10. So that was a 3 and an 18. I'm glad I had advantage. And then since Constitution. Plus 5. 23.
Okay, so yeah, just that much damage. You feel some poison in your blood that you shrug off like it's nothing.
Saying this, Bane would like to move to the window and see if he can see who's shooting.
I shout out the window. I drink harder stuff for breakfast. Try harder. And then I close the shutter.
Well, you close the shutter just in time to have another bolt slam into it.
Maybe I shouldn't have incited them.
You see like the poisoned tip of it pressing just at your forehead through the what's sticking in the shutters. What is your perception check? Baden, since you said you wanted to look at
That is a high number, 22.
We have 4 rooms, so I'm assuming the wall next to us is a friendly room.
Yeah.
That I'm not on the end one. I pound on the wall to wake him up.
Would be sleeping next door to you. Pick one of the others that are in your room.
Sheridan, Cookie, they're on us.
Cookie's on the ship. But
Oh, Cookie's on the ship. Oh.
getting his attention. Sheridan, roll a perception just to see if you detecting it. And
Sheridan,
you
on
did
your
see a
feet.
shadow move, but that is it.
Yeah,
Okay.
same.
Even with my 120 feet dark vision?
Yeah, like you saw a shadow move because you have dark vision when you rolled well.
Okay.
It's obviously a skilled assassin of some sort.
Alright. And so far they're just after
18.
Yonovan.
Okay, Sheridan, you hear Yonovan's voice calling to you in your slumber. I didn't know you dreamt of Yonovan when you slept.
Oh goodness.
Meaning he can wake up.
On your feet.
A passive perception of 6 does not wake Cookie.
Passive.
Or an active perception of 6
He's
does
not
not wake Cookie.
Okay.
asleep. It's group. But a 6, he's not going to hear it.
And you're also downstairs, from what you said, which would mean you probably would have disadvantage on hearing a little tiny bolt slamming into.
Well, I rolled a natural 2. I don't think that disadvantage is going to make much difference.
No, I'm just saying that I'm not asking you to. I was just
Well,
stating
it's
that
no longer
there's
hearing the
probably
bolt, it's the
case.
hearing the pounding on the walls. So I'm trying to raise the group.
Well, apparently the other patrons can sleep through your banging. Clea, did you want to roll a perception?
Sure. Is this disadvantage or?
No, you're upstairs. Just be straight.
As a question, which direction was the shadow moving? Was it toward the building or what?
Between. Parallel.
Okay.
11.
They're being smart, not staying in the same spot for you to get a beat on. And they're ducking behind full cars.
Where'd you last see them, Baden?
They're in the alleyway, more or less.
Alright.
Cleoc's perception is 11.
You miss the good skies of your home.
I'm sure I do.
So none of my teammates are waking up.
Sheridan did.
Yeah, I'm awake. And I immediately start trying to wake everyone else up.
That would probably give everyone advantage for a raging hippo.
So you knock on the wall back
Uh-huh.
in response.
You hear one of the patrons holler out, "Be quiet, I'm trying to get some sleep."
We are
Someone-
too.
21 for Cleoc.
Yeah, you hear beating of a large creature.
Oh, what's going on? And I
Is
get
it-
up, get out of the room, and go to Sheridan's room.
Sheridan, your door opens.
Sheridan, what do you want? Something wrong?
Since I've only heard Sheridan get up, and I'm being shot at in the dark, and I can't see in the dark, and Baden told me he's in the alley, I'm lighting a bomb and throwing it into the alley.
Oh my
So the
gosh.
street is out your window. Like the main entrance to the inn. So the alley would be
Oh.
across the street.
You're
Well,
gonna be.
So
where
you
did I?
roll at, long range, so disadvantage to try to not pull a chunk off a building. Or you can, use your wisdom score to think better of it.
I mean, part of this is Assassin wants to be stealthy, and that this ruins stealth when the whole neighborhood wakes up.
I would convey where I last saw them.
So across the street, in the alleyway behind the building across the street.
So how would they have a bead on us in the upper story from the ground floor if that's where we saw them
They were
move?
on the ground floor, they were on the roof.
Oh boy, they're on the roof, up top.
Alright,
Maybe a bomb isn't the best idea.
well, I rolled a 12 and a 17, and I have a +5. I should get it close.
Where were you aiming?
Where he last saw them on the roof.
So, okay, there's the sound of an explosion and you hear slate and other, not slate, but ceramic shattering.
Yeah, because that'd be 17 to hit.
And you hear
I'll take-
screams of someone who seems to have been hit by shrapnel.
How long do those screams last?
Well, so far they're still going on. And you hear the scream of someone else as well. Screaming with the person who's screaming about being hit.
I'm going to look to see if there's a shadow moving.
So you're gonna reopen the shutters and do that? Okay.
I mean,
Well,
we
I guess
kind of
no,
had
you
to
had
toss
to for
the
that,
bomb.
right?
And that's a natural 20, so a 27.
You see the building over, a bolt comes flying at you, and you see some small eyes go ducking back over the roof on the back side of the building. The building next to the one that just had a huge explosion on its roof.
Yonovan, that was the wrong building. He moved.
You told me.
He moved!
At this point, if the room door's not locked, I enter it. Because I assumed that we heard the boom.
Oh yeah. No, the whole neighborhood heard the boom. You see lights start popping on and someone screaming bloody murder because, their roof has exploded and the, ceramic has punctured some part of them.
I say we stay in here. Act like
Yeah.
nothing happened.
Yep. As I'm pulling a dart out of my arm, throwing it on the ground.
Or we say we heard stuff happening and as adventurers we're going to investigate. Either way. Then again, we don't have our good talkers with us, so.
What's going on? Are you alright?
I
You
mean,
see blood on Yonovan. And
It seems
blood
that
sticking
Kobold
out
was,
the wall and one on the floor.
so that bounty was a dead or alive theme, it seems. Because I got shot through the window here, and closed the shutter there, and another one came and hit the shutter. So they're definitely trying to get me. So I tried to wake up the neighborhood so that the assassin would, go away because they've lost the element of stealth.
I say in a hushed tone, "You threw a bomb out the window? What are you thinking?"
Percussive noise maker. I prefer.
Seems effective in that regard.
Are you stupid?
I was getting shot at and no one was awake. Maybe. I don't have any left, so there's no way to track it to me.
You just have explosive powder, but no one knows that it's explosive except for that one kobold.
There's no powder.
Well, the crystals, but minor
We may
details.
have just killed an innocent civilian, you know.
It is in self-defense.
A bomb is never self-defense.
You.
Claymores are in self-defense, clearly.
Of campers,
Babe,
yeah.
you start hearing crying now from the location you heard screaming moments ago.
I was like, maybe you shouldn't have done that.
And you see a number of guards down on the streets, and a lot of flights have come on. The guards seem to be trying to suss out what has happened.
This is even better than me summoning an axe beak.
You see one of the guards come out from behind the building that Jonathan threw the bomb out, and he has some shards of the shingles that they use here, which is basically a desert, ceramic tile.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah. He goes up to one of the higher ranking ones there and shows it to him and says something to him. And the guards start going to all the buildings, including the inn, and seem to be questioning. Rook, are you still downstairs? The bomb went off, but you never said if you went upstairs.
It's because someone was moving my character and people were talking. No, I would have gone upstairs.
Okay.
Because I rolled an 18 perception to hear the pounding on the wall before the bomb went off, I think.
Yeah, so as you're stomping up the stairs, you hear a bomb go off. A few moments later, you hear some footsteps coming up the stairs.
Hide the bolts, guys. Bag of holding.
The person with the bag has to choose that one.
Do we really want to hide the bolts?
Nope. I'm a victim here.
Okay.
You, see a guard come up the stairs. He's like, sees you guys wait. You heard the commotion downstairs now.
I am group.
He looks very strangely at the big, talking, moving tree. He isn't sure what to do with it. And then looks at the others, is like... and he goes and knocks on the other doors, telling all the patrons they have to be downstairs immediately.
Alright. Might as well go downstairs.
Head downstairs. Should we mention that we were attacked while we're on our way downstairs? Or Jonathan was attacked?
I take it that that's a player asking players.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, I raise my voice. Does this have anything to do with what was happening outside and the bolts coming through our windows?
What do you mean bolts coming through your windows? This has to do with a bomb going off
He's-
and killing an innocent man.
I'm holding. I'm like, I kind of like put my arm forward that's bleeding, and I've got a bolt in my it's like holding it against my arm here.
I see. Do you know where the bomb came from then?
Same direction as the bolts were flying at us. It's on that side of the building. So I closed the window after I got struck. Another one hit the window, and then the explosion was in that same direction.
Roll a deception.
It's not technically deception.
You're saying you don't know where the bomb originated, just that it exploded there.
Which is a lie. So
You're omitting that part of the truth for sure.
I get the feeling from your statement you're seeking to deceive, not tell the truth.
That might be the case.
Seeking to leave out the fact that I tossed anything out. He didn't ask where the bomb originated. He asked where the bomb blew up, if it was in the same direction. I
Did
said
you
it's the
see
same
where the
direction.
bomb came from?
Oh, I didn't hear that. 12. It doesn't really matter though, because my persuasion and deception are the same score. It's just a straight roll for me.
He seems like he's not going to press the point, but he's not totally convinced.
And you can see the bolt in our shutter in a minute. And I hand him the bolt that hit. So this one is the one that hit me, but be careful on the tip. It felt like it was a little poison. They just used a weak one though.
He takes it and is like, downstairs, Captain wants to talk to you all. Takes the bolt, walks off. You see the people are being brought in from the surrounding buildings, you would surmise, including one woman who seems to be weeping uncontrollably.
We wouldn't happen to have her vivify, would we?
Hestra.
I'll scroll up and look.
it's too long, guys.
That's true. And nope.
So, you see this large, half-orc individual steps in. He seems to have a little more decoration than some of the other guards you've seen. And he's like, thank you all for coming. Please take your seats. We'll be coming around to collect your statements momentarily. If you're found to be lying to us, just know that the prince has issued an edict where lying to members of his staff are as lying to him, which is amount to treason, which is execution. So keep that in mind when you're answering. And he starts going around talking to the people. So you guys have a few moments while he talks to some of the others. Anything you guys want to do as he makes his way around the room, talking to everyone?
I mean, we're all pretty much
I'm giving players a chance to decide what they want to say and who they want to have talk.
I mean, we're
We're
all
not
in our own
talking
rooms.
individually.
It's up to you.
The way you had said it, it was, everyone would be talking.
Potentially. It partially depends on how you go about it.
How from my perception, looking for the guy again, how big was the bomb blast?
It was a good 20 foot, I believe, is what we said they were. Donovan, you have the info there that I sent you?
No.
I don't remember if it was 10 or 20.
This would just be the first time it's actually destroyed a wall.
The first time I saw it used was
Not destroying a door.
and stuff,
Against that magical fortress.
and it was a 10-foot radius. The second time was the really good one, and that was a 20-foot radius with the underground monsters.
This is probably a normal one, so it's probably a 10 foot.
Yeah.
So, yes. It's a 10 foot radius, so you know it's probably a 20s, essentially like a 20 square foot area that's been blown off their roof. And apparently these shards killed somebody.
I don't feel bad about this at all. Ceramic is stronger than whatever.
So the captain gets her in the room and comes over to you all. It's like, you all seem to be associates of one another from what I hear.
That's
Yep.
correct.
That is correct.
That's true.
Yes.
I am group.
That's all he
It-
says.
it-
It takes some time to get
he
used
he
to.
can understand us, but he only seems to be able to speak in those 3 words. We have a ability to translate if necessary for him.
So you have a cat, a mouse, and a tree follow you around. You are some strange individuals.
That we are.
My sergeant says that he points to Donovan and Baden, that you claim that you were attacked with these bolts.
Yes, there should be a bolt in our window shutter still. The second one struck it right after I closed it.
Okay. And why would you have been the target? And what do you know of the bomb that went off, killing a citizen of this town?
I hand him the poster. I said I found this. I don't know what it means.
I can't read this.
Yeah, neither can we.
But it
Neither
looks
can
like
we.
you.
We don't know what it's about, just that someone was after us. Or me. I don't know why.
Interesting.
So that's why I was quick to close the shutter.
Usually
I
people
assume it's from the same origin as the people who shot me. When we closed the shutter, it went off afterwards.
Usually people who'd be doing things like that wouldn't make mistakes like deploying a bomb like that.
Well, guess you get what you pay for.
No one's been found with any bolts like these. The bolts are an interesting thing, you know, they're not ones you've seen for sale.
So what do they look like? Or
Very,
Have you seen any bolts of these origin before?
you saying that to the
Gee.
captain?
Yeah, like, do you know who's after us?
It's like, I've never seen a bolt like this. I don't know where they get black metal like this to make bolts.
Have I ever seen the metal before?
I'm not sure that you would have. is used for more expensive
Interesting.
upper class things. It's a very hard wood, so it's very
I'm not sharing it.
lightweight and sturdy.
I'm not sharing that information. It's most disturbing.
So it's a nice dark, almost black wood, but it's slightly purplish in hue, and then there's black feathers on it. So it's black tip, black feathers, and almost black shaft. It's like, this is a very unique looking bolt. Would you all mind showing me what you have so I can verify that it's not something that came with you all, because I've never seen something like this before.
Sure.
Certainly. I mean, we all have normal arrows so far as we know.
Yep.
Maybe some slightly more exotic ones from different worlds, but nothing unusual.
I'm assuming that we didn't come down here with our weapons.
I mean, why wouldn't we?
Or would we have?
No.
Don't know.
Maybe, I don't know. I'd assume being roused from our...
We would
mean,
have
I'm-
had our weapons.
Would have at least had a dagger on me. Like, nothing big. But do you think we would have taken our bag of holding with everything in it down there?
That's up to you since it's your bag.
Like I left stuff in the room if you want to accompany us, or if you want us to go get it and come back. Up to you.
He gestured to one of the sergeants to go over. He's like, he'll go with you, bring it down.
Alright.
Show me. And he starts looking at the equipment that the rest of the group has while you do that. Anything they do have.
Of course, group has nothing.
Standard
is-
arrow, standard longbow, nice sword, staff of the battle master.
So you come back down and show what you have there. He has his sergeants coming over while he keeps talking to you all. So, any idea about the explosion? You said it happened after, but there's no scorch marks or anything of standard explosive, which is also an oddity.
That is
Yeah.
odd.
That does seem unique.
Since you're all being targeted,
Unique,
do you know
as
anything
unique
about
as
that?
the. No, we can't even read the script on the poster. Everything about this is odd, and we're trying to find out why people are after me, or us.
So, out of character, at some point they're going to discover those symbols, and I'd like to know what reaction happens from that.
The symbols.
The black rose symbols or black flower,
Mm.
because if they're searching our stuff, unless all of them are currently in the bag of holding, which I don't know if the guards are going
We-
through at the moment.
We have two of us have bags of holding, I think. Hestra and myself.
I think Baden had all the necklaces unless someone else had
Yeah,
taken one or
I
something.
didn't have any of the necklaces.
What did Baden do with them?
He just had them in his bag.
Okay. So yeah, they would come out as your bag is empty and investigated.
Mm-hmm.
You said you have the highest passive in it's 18 or 17?
17. So how do they react when they see them?
You notice one of the sergeants doesn't react, but another one of them seems to look around and swipe them and put them in his pocket.
Oh, they're the sergeants?
One of the sergeants, yes.
One of the sergeants. Okay.
There's a couple of them going through your equipment, basically cataloging it, writing it down, verifying. None of it seems to match the make of other things that they're looking for. One reacted, one didn't react, and one swiped them.
Is the captain interacting with me right now, or is it just like the entire group?
Kind of with the whole group, since
Okay.
you all claim to be a group together.
Then I will keep an eye on that guy. an angle to talk to him before we go.
So is there any other additional information you can share? Because you've kind of left it slam and we have a dead civilian now.
I mean, we want to know what happened and why we were attacked as well.
Do we want to share what happened when we entered the city the first time? I say it out loud to the group. It seems this may not be a isolated incident.
The captain looks at you like expecting you to finish your statement.
So we picked a mission to escort a young lady to the city. And when we got here, we were ambushed, and the people ran away after trying to knock us out. And they had symbols of this black rose on it.
So you're slavers?
No. We were escorting her for her safety, not for
Her
trade.
mother asked us to escort her to the city. And I'll motion to the guards, like, as this guard can attest with the symbols that he put in his pocket, these are the symbols that we found on them.
He calls him over. What symbols are they talking about? He's like, I don't know, Captain. They must be delirious or something.
Rear right pocket. Or whatever pocket I found or saw him put it into.
You see a halfling sergeant walk up and walk by the other sergeant and just hold a handkerchief out to the captain. He's like, I've never seen these before. What do you know of these? And the sergeant's like, you've heard they cause trouble, and those who carry them cause trouble. He looks back at your group. Anything further?
Well, we were attacked by people that had these. I assume you said they held it out, that was the necklace.
Yeah, he held up the handkerchief to the captain, and inside was the necklaces.
Okay.
It appears that there are people inside your own forces that are.
So why would you grab these from us?
To dispose of them, I've heard they cause problems.
Well, wouldn't they be evidence?
Do you routinely destroy evidence?
Evidence of what?
Well, you're investigating this room, aren't you?
I'm gonna say, let's make this a little easier. And provided that me and Yanovan are 15 feet away from whatever person, I'm gonna cast the Zone of Truth on someone
Do you
that
want to
is.
mention that you're doing that?
I'm gonna
So-
mention.
Ask
So the
permission.
captain doesn't outright attack you?
Yeah, ask permission.
I'll ask the captain's like, I can just cast Zone of Truth and make this whole thing easier if you'd like. And so that we can't lie about this, because we've been trying to find out information about these as well.
Then cast it on yourselves as well, so we can all.
Alright. It's a nice area of effect. And I will cast it 15 feet away from me and Yanovan.
He did ask that you include yourselves in it.
He did, but you don't see the actual area take effect, do you?
You create a magical zone that guards against deception, a 15-foot radius sphere centered on a point of your choice within range. On a failed save, the creature can't speak a deliberate lie while in the radius. You know whether each creature succeeds or fails. An affected creature can be aware of the spell and thus avoid answering questions to it. Such creatures can be invasive, as long as it remains within the boundary of the truth. Does not say that the magical zone is visible.
What does the internet say?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah, that's something we need to...
Visible.
This is all kinds of sketchy.
Well, that's what happened when.
Donovan feels no remorse for murdering an innocent peasant.
I didn't
I'm-
murder him. The
you
DM
know,
made a roof that was weaker than
you
anything
almost
else
had me
we've
convinced
ever
that you were
encountered.
good because you told me you were good, but now I'm not so sure.
I told you the DM made a roof that was weaker than anything we've ever encountered. It has never been able to destroy a structure until now, and it killed someone on the other side of a structure. No, that's all on the DM.
It didn't
Sorry.
necessarily destroy the whole structure, but it fractured ceramics. Ceramics against
Which
a
is good at
force
deflecting.
explosion isn't
Interlocked shingles deflecting. Eh.
I
I'm actually
mean,
not.
they use ceramic as bulletproof plates.
Yeah.
So it is a special ceramic, but it is still ceramic.
So I know that we've actually been subject to Zone of Truth before from a previous quest before you joined Baden.
Mhm.
Was that one visible? I don't see
No.
anything that specifically states whether it's visible or not, so I think this is a DM decision.
I don't think it was visible. We were just
Yeah.
stuck in a circle. And we're told we're in a
usually,
zone of truth.
I would say it is.
We were told we
But-
felt the effect, and you could fight it or not.
Yeah. It doesn't say how it being visible. You just know if you're affected by it.
It doesn't say whether it is or isn't. You are correct. Did we have any statements on the internet as to what
No,
others
everyone's
have?
just stating that Raw says it doesn't see anything, which
No, Raw doesn't say anything. Doesn't say whether it does or doesn't see.
I mean,
right. Well,
I did it.
Raw it means that if it's not explicitly stated, it's not there.
That's not always the case with spells either. But
They typically have amendums if that's true, though. I don't know. I'm not finding anything. I'm on page 2.
I found nothing.
I'm on page 2 of Google. I found nothing.
yeah, I know that's the thing. It's like that's a hard ruling because you'd think that at least has to have some sort of effect on the area. Is it absolutely invisible?
Right. It's the effect that every person that's affected feels it. And the person that casts it knows if they succeed or fail.
Yeah,
It's
so
basically
it's
stating that it's not seen at all, which means there's only the verbal aspect, the casting aspect that is seen, which means
it's only the casting aspect of it's seen, and the people that are affected feel it,
Yeah.
and the person casting it feels it. So it's still, you know, if you're in it. So any guards that are next to us would know that they're not in it, or wouldn't feel that they're in it.
right. Okay. Well, if that is what you want,
Yes, I'm
then,
sticking me and Yonovan on the edge so that we are not affected by it.
what's your save DC?
Save DC 15. And it would be Charisma.
Are you catching any of us in this?
Yes, y'all are not implicated.
But here's the thing. Is that if you hit
That's true.
us with the Zone of Truth, we know very well we can make a pretty good assumption that was one of Yanovan's bombs.
Group is very helpful.
I am group.
So
Group
the
is
fact of the
indisputable.
matter is that if we get asked whether
You don't have to. You just cannot deliberately lie. You can
You
still
can
be evasive.
So,
well, I mean,
Yes.
if we save against it, then you know that we're lying.
And that
but
too.
then-
Yes.
And I didn't tell you I threw a bomb either. I told you I threw a percussive noisemaker.
The
Which,
halfling next to Yonaman is there.
What?
The captain failed his save, but the other guy who had taken the ambulance passed his save.
That's troubling.
However, the rest of the party members who are within that area would need to make a save as well.
Oh, that's charisma.
You said a 15 charisma save, right?
Correct.
So
Leok fails.
Very much fail.
Squeaks passes. I don't know what Estra's mod is, but 11 on the... Probably not.
Oh, that's an epic fail.
Haster's got a +6 wisdom save.
Charisma.
Oh, charisma -1.
So yeah, Estra fails. Certain fails. And the halfling next to Yonaman didn't need to roll out.
All right.
So
So I'll say
the captain gestures to you.
it's like, and I'll point out, it's like, your sergeant here that had the necklaces
Resisted.
resisted this.
So you're
Do I know
expecting
if
to succeed.
it succeeded on you? Do you know what happened tonight?
A bomb went off and killed one of the town's citizens. And I'm trying
So
to
far,
say the
correct.
truth. Did you say that to the captain or to the other guy?
I'll say, the spell worked on the majority of us, but our sergeant who picked the necklaces up, that I was most curious of if he only knew the necklaces were carried by troublemakers, to paraphrase, succeeded in resisting the effect. I can cast it one more time, and I would request that everyone tries to submit to the effect.
I can't force that, but you're welcome to try again if you wish.
Alright. Also, ironically, Zone of Truth is not concentration. So, how are we arranged in the room? Just out of curiosity. Particularly the halfling sergeant and the other sergeant.
Or something like that.
Okay. Then it appears that the halfling and the halfling,
Sergeant's back in the room,
right. The halfling sergeant is the one that presented the necklaces. He wasn't the one that picked them up.
but correct.
Alright. Then I will cast Stone of Truth, ignoring the said one again.
So right there, that guy picked him up. That's the captain. That's the halfling.
10. That's about the sphere. So I'll cast it again,
So that means
and
Cleoc, Sarah,
ironically,
Group get to roll again.
if you fail, you get to try and save again. Or if you saved, you get to try again. Although if you failed, the previous one stays in effect.
Oh, the previous one stays in
If
effect.
you passed last time, roll again. If you failed, don't bother because you're still under one.
Cool.
Can motherboard while you motherboard.
Squeaks resisted.
Squeaks.
We rolled on that 20. And the guy who took the necklace is resistant.
Ah,
What is his
Man.
mod?
Guy.
Alright.
And the captain's like, and that time,
He still resisted it, but that's all I can do today.
then we'll take a chat with him down at the station. The rest of you, any other information you can provide regarding what happened tonight? Any thoughts, theories, details?
He would ask that.
I would say that
I am openly admits in group language that Yanovan makes bombs.
I'm group. I'm group. I'm group. I'm group. I'm group.
Can
Group.
one of you interpret
was
what
like-
he said?
Group. Group. Group.
it's like
Well,
I'll
it'll
make
be up to
note for group
Squeaks
to
to
step
see if
back next
anyone
time.
if anyone interprets him.
It's
Or not.
perfect because Squeaks
That's not
didn't
my
interpret
fault.
him.
I'll say it's like remind me to exclude him from the zone of truth next time, guys. Alright.
Are
Well,
you
what I
going
was
to
starting to
instruct
say.
Squeaks to say anything or not say anything? Or is Seridan or Clea going to say anything as they're also under the zone?
I'm
I
not
don't
saying
have
anything.
to say something, right? I'm not compelled to speak.
We're not compelled to speak, but
Then I, am not gonna.
You're not compelled to speak, you are compelled to tell the truth, and
Exactly.
Yes.
basically ask.
Alright, then I will say, like, yeah, we found these necklaces on the people that attacked us when we first arrived, and we were trying to find out more. If y'all do find out more, help us track down who we're trying to find in this city.
And who's trying to hunt us?
Yeah, we heard one tip earlier today that Tifa was hunting us. We
Yeah,
have no
Tifa.
idea who that is.
We've never heard this name before.
Yeah,
Never seen
That's-
this metal before. I have seen this wood before, though.
and where
This
was
wood-
that,
Did you
Jonathan?
see the
I've only seen this on my home planet. It's usually for. I've never seen it in this implementation. I've only seen it on like high-end furniture. I've never seen it used on an arrow. Never seen these feathers or this tip before, and
If there's anything we can do to help with your investigation, we would be happy to help. And you know we can't lie. And I'm sure the rest of my party members would agree that we are more than happy to help.
absolutely.
Okay, well, we appreciate any help you can provide. Knowing who killed this poor woman's husband would be useful. We'll have the mages come and take a look at the site and try to figure out what they can find out tomorrow. As for now, you all should return to your rooms and don't leave town until you're cleared.
Okay. We have business in town still, so I don't think that'll be a problem.
Very well.
May I ask your name, Captain? And the sergeant's name too.
Where might we go to find you if we find more to report?
And can we have the necklaces back? Because we are still in at least one of them.
Oh, we did go to this alchemist shop. That there was a goblin that he didn't speak common, but he seemed to recognize the amulet. Yeah.
I will look it up. This year's Sergeant's Saraba.
Can you post that in chat, please?
Yes,
Yes,
definitely.
please. Did you get my ramble about goblin shop and recognizing the amulet?
Yeah.
And the halfling sergeant? That was close.
That's the one who took the ambulance. Is the one I posted. As for the halfling,
I've never seen sergeant shortened like that.
Me neither. I'm in the Air Force. Well,
Got an extra
with-
2 characters.
Well, it is unfortunate we met under these circumstances, but thank you for trying to figure out what happened. That's very unfortunate what happened. And where might we find you if we find out more?
at the headquarters of the guard.
Okay. And where is that, since we are new to the city?
You're not very perceptive. He points up the street to this large building with their symbol that has flames roaring out front, keeping the symbol lit day and night.
Cool. I'm glad to see that we are in the right part of town for this. This is a much better part of town than we were in at that Goblin Alchemist.
They dared to try an assassination
Yeah, which is
right
suspicious
next to
while
your
you're not in that
headquarters.
area of town.
We're trying to find who ambushed us the first time. We didn't get very far because we don't speak goblin.
Mm-hmm.
Very well.
But he did seem to recognize the amulet. That's why we told you. But we can't talk to him, so we can't
How
get
do you know
information
he
out of him.
recognized it if you can't speak?
He pointed at it repeatedly, which was what he did not do when we held up other things.
Okay, go ahead.
Except
roll deception.
That wasn't deception. That's what he did.
That was the truth.
He didn't say a whole lot at it. He recognized it.
Well, right, he recognized it, but didn't do the same to other things. Like,
Very well.
when we held up pen and paper, he didn't do anything. It was just like, yeah, that's pen and paper. When we held up the necklace, it's like, oh yeah, I know that.
No, he seemed to recognize it when you held it up. He didn't do a whole lot with it.
I don't remember Nate saying any sort of gesture. It's just that your insight check led you to believe that he recognized it.
Exactly.
You just stated that he pointed at it multiple times, which is a lie.
Well, I was exaggerating how much he did, but I was saying out of character that he did recognize it, but weren't able to figure out anything else because of language barrier.
Okay.
Out of character, do we want to mention anything about that we found the necklace on the half ogre?
I don't think that's
Pertinent.
pertinent.
Yeah.
It would be to him because I'm sure that he's already found 2 dead half ogres in a certain.
That's true.
Yeah, we
room.
might not want to mention that.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point. Let's not mention that.
It's a good thing I didn't remember that.
You may be contacted by Detective Suna to question you as to what has transpired.
All
Sounds
right.
good.
Yes. We'll stay here for the time being.
Stay here till morning and investigate in the
Yeah.
around town.
We'll come back here tomorrow night and so on and so forth.
Or to your headquarters tomorrow if we find something.
Yes.
Very well. And he meets them and exits. And you all may proceed to head to your quarters or talk amongst yourselves while I quickly make sure I got all the notes so I don't forget anything.
Wow, that was quite the series of events, guys. They really need to work on their roofing and their shingles here.
Incredibly weak.
Yeah.
I really hope you're not saying any of that out loud.
No, I'm not.
I don't know if you can
I
tell.
uh
Group is not happy with you.
Kleok glares at Yonovan for a moment before going back upstairs to his room.
I am Brooke. Did you see the message I sent you?
No.
Oh, yeah.
Alright.
Watching that Detective Sarabad, did he do anything else on the way out that was suspicious?
Did what?
The detective or Sergeant Saraba, the one that swiped the necklaces, do anything else on his way out?
No.
Okay.
He's under watch, so he's being
Yeah, he's definitely suspicious.
led by another back to the headquarters. So. Alright. Well, if there's nothing further, we will end there tonight and pick up next week.
Alrighty.
The assassination.
Okay.
Fun.
Did not go as planned for the assassin, I bet.
Dun.
Alright.
It didn't go as planned for us because somebody threw a bomb out the window. And I'm actually torn what to do as a player because maybe I should change my alignment. Because I'm torn between protecting my friends and. But, you know,
Hey,
straight up lying is not something that Kleok does.
hey, as a dwarf with knowledge of material science, that did way more damage than anything else has ever done. And it was a weaker bomb, so I don't see how it did what it did.
Well, you can go investigate it tomorrow and find out.
Yep.
I mean, it could have been a damaged portion of the building already, and it just weakened.
Yeah, 10-foot radius is. It would have had to have been directly over a bed or where
Okay.
someone was.
I mean, to do what it did would have required a. Oh gosh.
The sizable
It's a
amount of
sp-
C4.
No. It's a special type of
A
charge.
breaching charge.
Aimed charge. Otherwise, it's just going to go
Yeah,
out.
directed
open.
charge.
Slanted
That's a good
roof.
point.
Meh.
There might have been some damage, but
Hmm.
not 8, 9 hit points of damage through a wall.
Well, considering commoners average 2 hit points.
I was giving him level 1 stats.
Yes, the average house cat can kill a commoner.
That seems odd.
No.
Anyway, So we have problems in the future
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
because Kliok's not good at lying, and if he had been asked directly, might have had actual problems actually just lying.
That's true.
Well, we'll see what happens next time. It'll be fun.
If the assassin ever gets caught, he could easily implicate Yonovan for it.
True.
In other words, if we find the assassin, we need to kill him.
So
I
now
think
it's
we
a
can
race
arrange for
between the
that.
authorities catching the assassin and you catching the assassin. Ooh.
Yes.
Yay.
Yay! Great job, everyone. We'll see you next week.
Hey, it's not my fault.
Who
I don't want to
understands
hang with
group?
Yonovan.
Who here